down like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it rain tonight. We gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain.
using. Kane with the comes in there.
Real love, now I see you.
Didn't stop happen. He knew what was about to happen. Wait a moment. Wait a moment.
I see it now. I see it now.
Why are you not gonna let it do it to you, Brad? Shoot!
What? 8 straight.
To show to you that I'm more good than I am bad.
Catcher. Stop it. They have a family. Don't throw it to them.
And I'll be somewhere that you need me. And I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show.
A 1v5.
And he's sniped by Illusion.
Ramity's gonna get gunned again. That was a great nade by Mayo.
Should never have gotten that 3-piece.
Yeah, somewhere deep inside of you, I know you want me to. You're just afraid to say.
Hello and welcome, Call of Duty fans. We are here live with the K7 League. This is Season 2, this is Event 2, this is Week 2, and this is the finals. I am FBI Tugboat, and I am joined here today with man Breezy. Breezy, how are we doing today, sir?
Doing fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, I'm doing well. I need to clear the throat as well a little bit. Get ready for this one, because it's going to be quite a big one. Knights Templar taking on Natural Talent. Knights Templar 3-1ing Saints Academy, 3-0 Saints Academy, 3-1ing Dredge Esports to get to here. On the other side, Natural Talent 3-0 Notchix Esports, 3-0 Band of Misfits.
That is correct. I do believe so, sir. As we're in for a treat tonight, right? Like, these two teams, they are the best of the best so far for this week. I'm excited, Tug. This ought to be great.
Yeah, I'm right here with you, right here with you. They have made it into the finals here for a reason. They have earned their spot thoroughly. Shout outs here, of course, to our good friends over there, Rogue Energy, the energy supplement product. A little powder action you mix on with water and tastes good too. Get you hyped for video games. Shout out to, Gamers Resort, the non-profit working with us, working with gamers with disabilities, literally, doing fighting the good fight here in esports. As well as GitGudHosts. I'm no internet doctor, but they're doing something crazy out there to make sure that we get these good hosts and that everybody's getting their fair shake when it comes to connectivity, which is obviously, a really big deal with Call of Duty specifically in an esport. And the last sponsor is, of course, oh man, I was trying not to write it down and try and just call it here today. Breezy, who is it? Help me out.
You said Rogue, you said Get Good, you said Gamers Resort. You are missing our lovely partners, FadeGrips.
Yes, that's right. Good people over at FadeGrips. You can check out what they're doing over on Twitter and Twitch. There's a reason why they're doing it, but yes, fantastic grips put on the end of your sticks. Fantastic grips put on the end of your sticks. It sounds adult themed, but it is not, I promise. That's what they call them, not me. I did not invent these controllers. That'd be cool. I may not be casting if I invented game controllers, would I?
No, you would not. You'd be way up there on the food chain.
Yes, exactly. I'm a small fish.
This right here wouldn't even be close to your pay grade if you were a controller.
I would like to think. And I've said this before on broadcast, and I really want everybody to hold me accountable, but the goal of it is, of course, the Tier 1, the fame, the glory, and the spotlight and everything. I love casting, but if I ever get there and kind of forget who I am and forget the little people and act like a dickhead, like, honestly, a lot of talent does, then you can strike me down where I stand. Moving on along, stop talking about FBI Tugboat. Maps and modes. This is a classic best of 5, which means, of course, we'll have our Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, Domination, Hardpoint, and lastly, Search and Destroy. Would you like to run through these maps with me, good sir?
We've got Ramaza Hardpoint Game 1. Then we get the double header of Gun Runner like we witnessed the other night, even though that was 3 straight, right? So here we've got Gun Runner Search, Gun Runner Dom, followed up by Hackney Hardpoint, and if we get to that pivotal Game 5, it will be Arcloth Peak.
Yes, sir. Arcloth Peak to round that one out. I like it so far. It's varied, and kind of the more middle, smaller size maps, but these are important. So, what do? Good old, reliable, right? Don't fix it if it isn't broken. That's what they say down here.
Absolutely.
Talking a little bit about.
I was about to say,
Sorry,
let's
go
get
ahead.
into the lookout.
Yes, there you go. My man, reading my mind, looking at the lookout, provided by, of course, our good friends over at Rogue Energy. We appreciate you making this possible. Natural talent, just on paper, just speaking of what I see here, Breezy. I'm a play-by-play caster, and even I can do this math. The numbers just simply better, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. They are definitely, on paper, they're not that far apart, right? Like, the S&D is probably where you'd give the slight edge to natural talent, and maybe in the domination, just because of what the numbers are providing for us right now. But this hardpoint should be pretty good, as, like, these two teams are kind of even. As you see, NT has the 1.2, and then KT obviously rounding out right there with the 1.1. So this hardpoint should be really good. But domination is what I'm really interested for as far as this series goes, Tug. Like, because these two teams, they're very talented. They're very slay-oriented, right? So I think this has the potential to literally go to distance. I don't know how you're feeling, but...
Like we always say, love to get a full game 5. Two teams like this, I can kind of see it. Honestly, I don't think this really speaks to Knights Templar's talent on Search and Destroy, but that could just be because of what they're comparative against, of course. And even so, and again, you know, the crucial 3 characters here are that K/D there in the middle. This is just talking about the kill-death ratios. This is not talking about their win percentages or how many rounds they win versus how many rounds they lose. This is just talking about slaying power on these individual game modes. Of course, Call of Duty does not have a team deathmatch in it. I don't think that'd be a very fun competitive game mode. It is Hardpoint, it is Search and Destroy, and it is Domination for a reason.
You said TDM wouldn't be a fun competitive thing, right?
For Call of Duty?
Yeah, I mean, well, tell that to the GB kids who go on game battles and play team deathmatch, bro.
Yes, okay, so I am not disagreeing that there would be a lot of people playing on game battles. There'd be a lot of, money lost, money won, and feelings hurt probably on game battles, and even more so than normal. But I do not think it'd be a very fun, like, Call of Duty league or, like, competitive league, you know, setup, team deathmatch. Do you? I mean, honestly, I mean, hit me, dude. I mean...
I agree. I mean, we're hopping right in here to the wonderful Ramaza Hardpoint between these two amazing squads. We didn't even get to touch on our predictions, but I'm going to say it goes to game 5. And then it's literally a coin flip when we get there.
A coin flip using Steven Stevens. I will, I know these two teams well enough to know that I think I can more accurately predict what's going to happen after this game 1 because it's always this feel-out spot. Natural talent coming through, lighten up this kill feed. Turquoise over here on the left. Natural talent made up of Crixus, of course, Ivane, Relic, Olympian, and Ace. Knights Templar. Who are they, Breezy?
They are Ducky, Dill. I can't see the rest. Help me out there, Tug.
Let's see. Magnifico on the top, Ducky, Dill, Nordic, and Badger. My eyes are not very good, but I was able to see that at least.
Yeah, I couldn't really see it. Like, full disclosure, I do have like a partial blind spot in my left eye, so I couldn't see it that well. No, like, you're fine. I just couldn't see it all that well, so. But that's neither here nor there. Natural talent off to a very hot start here in map 1, as they have almost essentially held this whole P1 for the whole, what? They've got coming up on 50 seconds here, Tug?
Yeah, that's a
lot of time for P1.
Yeah, especially on Ramaza. You know, it would only be more unexpected if this is like our gun runner, really. That first hardpoint is just completely up in the air.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. Electronic Shops is where it goes down. I'm sorry?
And they did that not even having... They didn't even have spawns for P2, but you look at it here now. They've literally wiped out the whole Knights Templar squad. Is now they're going to have full reigns over this electric shop. And that was literally so fast that I wouldn't even be able to keep up with that if I didn't have your help, bud.
Well, I'm always here for you, Breezy. Knights Templar not off to such a flashy start. Magnifico there on the top at 5 and 5 is the highest KD of the squad, and that's just dead even. Again, we can also do that math. 2 and 8 being the outlier here for Dill. Natural talent, completely different story is Ivane, only dying once, tripling up so far. Tripling up as well as Olympian, Ace not far behind at 5 and 2. Now, third hard point now. Knights Templar is there. How they hold this will decide the rest of the momentum. And up close and personal is Relic, but does not land the second melee hit.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how KT brings this back, because they've lost 2 straight, straight hills, right? Like, they haven't really shown us too much, as it's been literally Knights, or Natural Talent with Ivane and co. all in the kill feed. As you see it again, it's turquoise for 3 straight. Now you're starting to see a little bit of red. They're starting to come alive a little bit, Tug. Would you agree?
Definitely. Everybody just needs that little bit of, you know, a little bit of wake up. Call this a cattle prod in the rear end of Natural Talent. But they definitely woke up, and that's exactly what's important. This third hard point here has been all red, all Knights Templar. They're just striding through it. Longer range shots from Crixus there actually does finish it. Not really something you see that much post-patch.
Absolutely, especially since you don't really have that hefty, defty.
Hey, Breezy, you with me? Hero, can you hear Breezy? Okay, guys, I'm not sure if, what? Okay, so we're gonna need you to light up chat. This is on a 30-second delay, but I'm gonna go ahead on and cast this one because I'm not sure if you guys can hear Breezy as of right now. 156 to 62 or so. Looking on over at this, nothing in. Okay, this sound works. Your headset. Okay, I think that yeah. Please let me know in the YouTube chat if you can hear Breezy, or if you can hear me, because I cannot hear Breezy. Sorry about that, guys. 172, 173 up against 63 or so. Now we're looking at a Natural Talent squad that is really ran away with this. Got 100 points up now. Looking at even more as Relic drops down, gives him a nasty one right to the chest right there for a 5 streak before he does fall for his aggression. Ivane other side. Give him a little bit of extra love to these bodies, just aerating them a little bit. A little bit extra lead in it is unfortunately Ducky on the other side. Now, Breezy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but the audio just went out on my end for some weird reason. Sorry about that.
All gravy. I'm back that you hear now. That is all good. In the meantime, as we see, Natural Talent's kind of run away with this one.
Yeah, dude, this has been a really crazy start. I didn't expect this. If you would have told me in the beginning of this tug that this would have been happening, I would have probably called you crazy.
Yeah, Knights Templar has done big things on individual hardpoints, but overall, Natural Talent, probably about half the hardpoints they've even made a point on, Natural Talent just comes in and just absolutely wipes. That's kind of what they just did, except for Badger. And now that's Magnifico doing big things right there on our second rotation of hardpoints. Back in the first one, it'll be Electronic Shop soon.
Yeah, and from what we've seen so far, right, it's literally been nothing but Natural Talent, winning rotations, getting the hills primarily all by themselves, and KT just hasn't really had too many answers, right? So I'm interested to see how they bounce back going into the rest of the maps in this series, because we know how good these two teams are. So the fact that they came out a little slow, I guess you could say, in getting slapped in the face like this by Natural Talent is really surprising to me.
That's just calling it on paper, man. Or calling it like you see it. Excuse me, not on paper. Calling it, you know, just forecast like a weatherman, giving the information that you're. Or taking the information that you're given and just speaking how you feel about it. This could be a hard point last year for the side of Natural Talent, and that's just really massive. They're able to 100-point club Knights Templar.
Yeah, who would have saw this coming, right? Because they're both really good at hardpoint. So I don't know what's going on with the side of Knights Templar, as this has been the natural talent show for map 1. It hasn't really been too much fight in KT, and I normally don't say that on broadcast unless something like this happens. So
Yeah, I mean,
like
we're
you
looking
said,
at
if
100.
you gotta call it like you see it. I mean, this has just been a bloodbath.
Yeah, it really, really has. Barely more than 100 points.
105?
Yeah. Yeah, 145 lead. Yeah, eek.
That's
clear.
I'm really shocked. Like I
I hear
didn't
you.
expect
I hear
that.
you. 250, 105. Not all
If we would have
inspiring.
had time, if we would have had time to go over predictions or give final scores, I would have definitely said it was going to be a lot closer than what we just saw. So hopefully, KT hits that that reset button, calms down, and comes out and answers back with some aggression in map 2.
Yeah, hopefully just a little bit more life, shown, because yeah, just not ideal. And I mean, these are
Right.
players that have played on higher levels plenty. They know the highs and the lows of competing, and that's why at the end of the day, Breezy and I are here, willing to respect these people well enough to call it like we see it, and that was not pretty. I'm really looking for a search and destroy that is different. This gun runner right here, it's, significantly a different story, but really at the end of the day, I'm really just hoping for the difference in game mode to come through here and prove that this is not a Knights Templar squad that's just going to get completely shut out.
No, I don't expect this to be a 3-0 by any means. If anything, if we're calling it like we see it, right, I expect it. If anything, dude, I expect 3-1.
So we are.
I don't see it being a 3-0.
I mean, I want a 3-2, but I cannot.
Would be great.
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna go ahead with the 3-0, man. Natural talent showed me what they're made of. They really, really came through and put a good foot forward. I don't think it's going to be a complete sweep like within the games like this first game was, but I can't logically and predictively say that this is going to be anything but that, because natural talent just 250, 105, two and a half times. That is significant. It's statistically significant. That's what we say in the business.
Yeah, I mean, natural talent's a powerhouse team, right? Like, you look at the roster, that's a really nasty team. And they've been playing everybody with, like, so much, like, fast-paced aggression coming right at you. Nobody's really seemed to have an answer for it. And that was the results right there from map 1, right? So I could understand where you're coming from with the 3-0. I respect it. But I'm just saying, like, if map 2 goes the way that we know KT can make it happen, I see it being a 3-1.
I mean, I am
It's
not
all about that
basing it-
momentum. It's all about that momentum, Tug. So if
No,
they can
I
take
hear
this right
you.
here and get some momentum on their side, we could have an interesting series. But I can see where you're coming from at the same time.
I am not basing it on what I know these two teams are capable of. I am basing it on the performance, that I saw in game 1, and there was
Gotcha.
nothing awe-inspiring that I saw, really. There was some good turn and burn by Magnifico and Dill, especially on individual hardpoints, but that doesn't say much when you're losing, 2/3, 3/4 of hardpoints into that, right? We're just talking
Yeah.
about numbers here. Through and through,
Right,
though.
as-
3-2, decent even so far. Continue. please.
Yeah, this is going to be, I would say, like what we call this the swing game. So whoever can win this has a pretty good shot of winning this series. If we're just going off of performance alone, if KT can steal this one, we're guaranteed for that map 4. So this is a big one for both sides, right?
Yeah, and it is worth noting, of course, that this is the same game or the same map that we'll see next map guaranteed, right?
Yeah. We'll see this same map for domination. So it's not looking good right now at all, though, as round 1 is going to go in the favor of natural talent.
Oh no, that doesn't look very good either, as Nordic almost takes himself down with a sim text right there. He was obviously trying to launch it. Oh man, he was trying to launch it into the showers area, try and get some information. Other player has resistance to explosive.
Oh, and here comes the body
And,
shot.
Oh man, Olympian out here making sure to add a little bit extra lead to this corpse before it gets buried.
Well, you know, Tug, it wouldn't be Call of Duty Esports without the shooting of the good bodies, right? So, I don't know, honestly, me personally, I don't think I would not want to shoot anybody's body, because I've always found out if you get your body shot, that pisses the other team off, and they could literally come out and literally take this off of you and put you 6 feet deep. So, I don't agree with this whole shooting of the bodies, especially first round. Like,
I'm kind of split on this. Kind of like we talked about, right? A lot of this, just the simple stuff that is said in this game is not comparable to other esports. Of course, the quintessential being Gears of War, right? Like you have to have some thick skin to be playing Gears of War. And I'm not just talking that because they're, you know, really big characters in the game. You have to seriously be able to take some shit talking. It is incomparable to Call of Duty. On the other side, though, you have a very, very good point in that you do not want to give another team that extra little bit of, you know, passion, that extra little bit of reason to go forth and get angry, start playing very well. Some people perform well under pressure, some people don't, but you don't really want to shake that bottle and see what comes out.
Right, absolutely. As you're going to see, like there's, and this proves my point, right? Because there's only one player left, and that's Olympian on the side of Natural Talent, while you've got 2 or 3 up from the side of KT. So you're shooting bodies that early, just lit a fire under them. But as soon as I say that, now it's a 1v1. So I could be eating my own words here in a matter of seconds. But I'm used to that, as Olympian is going to get smoked.
Nicely done. Looking at this, man's 4-1 as well, right?
Yeah, I do believe so.
I believe so. We'll get our KDs popped up here in just a second. Sorry.
Those were some nice shots from Dill. That was some nice shots coming from Dill right there.
The drop shot down there, and I'm not talking laying down. Actual like flying from up top. Yeah, I believe he's 4-1, and well, we can tell why, right? This is nice and
Dill's a solid player, and he's another one that doesn't really get too much love as well. But shout out to him, man. Like he's been playing pretty well this week, right? That's fair to say. Along with like guys like Magnifico and Ducky, like these guys have been playing really well.
No, I'm definitely agreeing there. I think that yeah, I mean, you were kind of saying this earlier. I want to expand on that. This is Knights Templar big swing. You know, their big swing game. They take this momentum completely the other way. Unfortunately, though, Dill, who is the heavy hitter for their squad in this round at 5-2, has deceased. They are up 4-2 against Natural Talent, though. So odds their side, tied their side.
Yeah, and just like that, now it's 2-1 for KT, right? So that just like kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, you don't shoot bodies that early, Tug. You just don't do it.
What was this? That looked almost like, exactly like frame for frame to the final kill from our last one, except that this player didn't drop down, right?
Right. Yeah.
Even a nice. It's kind of weird, little deja vu action for you. The Knights Templar player on top of the Connex box, killing the last Natural Talent player, but this guy just didn't drop down. But
yeah, and I'm curious to look at this mini-map if we can pull up the mini-map, kind of look where everybody is on the map here, Tug, and break that down for us real quick if you can.
Yeah, so what this is looking at is a half-failed attempt for Knights Templar to come through the middle right here. Now this is unfortunately Dill probably about to get doubled up on. And all the whiles, of course, Natural Talent's still doing a great job of providing that bomb presence. They've already got B down. They end Dill and another Knights Templar player and with headshots. Now a 5-1 situation. Natural Talent's gonna be taking this round.
Yeah, unless Ducky here can pull out some kind of magic, right? I would pretty much say that this is the round of Natural Talent. I agree with that. Well, we've seen crazy things happen, but we're not going to see it there as he's going to get taken out. Who was that killed him?
This is Crixus there at the end, the longer range Knights Templar. The Knights Templar player falling, Crixus, the Natural Talent player, taking it. So, yeah, this is all offensive rounds that's been taken? All offensive?
I want to say yes. Not too sure. Like, these rounds happen so fast.
Up, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody has gone up 2-0. Yeah, so this has been 1-for-1. That was
it's been back and forth.
Just got one. Yeah, exactly. So this has been all offensive rounds so far.
Yeah, everybody's playing pretty pretty well, right? Like, they've been playing to their strengths. Nobody's really, like, getting overly aggressive, if that's fair to say, like we're used to seeing from the side of, like, Natural Talent, where they're always applying that pressure on the map and getting up in your face. They're kind of slowing it down a little bit, so you can tell that they've got some respect for KT. And same can be said on the same can be said on the other side, right? Like, obviously KT respects Natural Talent as well, just by looking like the play styles right now. As it is going to be one player left on the side of Natural Talent, though, Tug.
Olympia's a heavy hitter, though, doubling up at 6-3 far. I think the previous shots at the corner there were just trying to draw one out. He's anticipating shots from behind, but I don't think he knows that there is a player on B-bomb site. He turned his back to him, took some flak from the side there. Up top, tries the turn and the burn, and Knights Templar are going to be taking this one again. So all offensive rounds so far. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that he even, like, tried to engage that gunfight with an MP5 isn't that smart, in my opinion,
No,
right?
especially
Because the
last.
MP5 from a long range compared to an M4, with the recent patches, I don't agree with that gunfight. I think I would have just ran and just let the time run out, or blow yourself up, essentially, right? So,
I mean, not a hill to die on.
it's not an ideal gunfight.
No, it is not an ideal gunfight. That's a good way to put it. The way I look at it too is you already had damage on, right? I mean, it was just.
Yeah.
Oh well. On board with
Like,
Ace
you're
now.
already partially tagged up, and then you go to reach out. It's not a smart play.
I'm with it. I'm with it. We are on board with Ace, as we've seen as every other Natural Talent member take a kill so far. It looks like and 6 and 4. If he doesn't take this, it'll be 6 and 5. No, excuse me. Oh, 9 and 4. My bad. I can't read here.
Yeah, here's a question for you, Tug. Has the bomb been planted at all?
Bomb's been planted on 2. It has not gone the distance, though. I'll say that. So really, this just being a slaying contest so far. It is obviously what can always come down to, but generally we see a little more bomb presence.
Yeah, like, I mean, we've been through, what, 6 rounds, and I don't remember the bomb ever getting planted. So thank you for giving me
no
that
problem.
valid information. As
problem.
this has literally just been back and forth, like you've said on a few occasions now. Like, nobody's really gotten that 2-round advantage, right? So the fact that it's been this close is a good sign if you're a KT fan.
Yeah, this is their opportunity really to strike back on this one. I'm trying to get my PC to aerate a little bit more. Not by shooting it, not like Natural Talent members. I'm just worried about it overheating, obviously. I might be a little bit worried about that, honestly, even though I have a monitoring program and stuff. Anyway, on board with Dill. He's the first to crack double digits here, 10 and 5. Got one from this round as well, as we're looking at a 3 versus 4. Knights Templar being the 3, Natural Talent being the 4.
Yeah, that's... You gotta play to the numbers, right? Like, Natural Talent, they're gonna use their man advantage, and Dill's gonna get dropped as soon as I even open my mouth. And now we're on board here with Ducky. He's gonna try to pick up a kill here, so... I like his positioning on the map, though, right? Like, being here around, like, the green portion of the map, as he is gonna find one. So that puts him in a 1v2 situation, I do believe. And as soon as I say that, he is going to get... Oh, no, wait. Is it 2v2
Yeah,
or is it 2v1?
Nah, Ducky is the last alive. There's only one Olympian player for Natural Talent as well. But we ran out of time. Knights Templar, he started the bomb plant, and then he stopped. I'm not really 100% sure why. I think he may have thought he didn't know how to have the 7.5 seconds required to set the bomb plant. But
right.
I'm not really sure, because even if you die, then you still lose. You know, even if there was a player coming from behind that was going to kill him, you still lose if you don't plant bomb because you're on attack.
Right.
Not sure. The pathetic 7th round going the way of Natural Talent. And then round number 8, as this has been a 1-1 until recently.
Yeah, it's been very back and forth, very, I would call it scrappy, right? Because, I mean, they've been getting trades and stuff. It's not like anybody's just getting completely annihilated.
Yeah. I mean, even Ivan 2 and 5 is really not that bad, you know? I mean,
yeah, but that's
if the game ended right now, you know, but we still have at least 2 more rounds.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you brought that up because we're not used to seeing that from Ivan, right? We're used to seeing him
We are not.
having his stats flipped from the 2 and 5 to being like 5 and 2 or 9 and 3,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So the fact that he is like, I would say underperforming would be the best way to put it, is really surprising, especially as good as we know that he is. Like he's like MVP, right? Like
He was MVP
it's
for
really,
season 1.
yeah, like it's very surprising to see a player like him to be
I mean,
underperforming.
end of the day, that might really be just Knights Templar identifying threats and neutralizing them, right? I don't think
Yeah,
you can
good
necessarily say
point.
that it's bad for one player if it's not necessarily something we've been looking at too much. And there we go. There's the Nordic over here. He's he's giving a little back of the own medicine, right? Even stops the plan to come on over and desecrate bodies. Oh no, wait, did he just? Is that a connection issue thing in the left side? That little indicator? Oh no,
I
no,
believe
he's
he
doing the
did.
long. He's doing the long walk. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, doing the little long walk, give yourself time for your field upgrade to come up.
Yeah, of course he's yeah. So the tactical reason is, of course, he's waiting for his his dead silence to come back. But I would like to think that he's just more so just doing it for the dramatics, right? Like the one step towards the bomb, counter ticking down, last second, like the '90s movie.
I think the only person that I've seen, I think the last person I've ever seen do anything like that would be Nick Flyer when he was on Rated. He did like a lap around the bomb all the way until he got his field upgrade back. So it just adds a little bit of comedy, so it's all for fun. It gives us a smile and makes us laugh a little bit, right? So, and we are tied up though, again. I don't know how many times that we've said that
we have
so
to say
far.
that in this one. Yeah, exactly right. I mean,
Like,
there hasn't
we've been
been
tied up
a
back
lead
to
of
back. Like
there hasn't been a lead of more than one so far, so it kind of makes sense. Through
potential round 11.
shots. Yeah, I mean, we did say that this search and destroy was going to be close. I do like what Knights Templar are doing. Don't get me wrong. Just, based on what I saw earlier, that's what I had to call. This is Knights Templar team that is performing leagues better than before, and some little outliers like Dill 11-7, 11-8, excuse me, and Nordic 7-5.
Absolutely, and Natural Talent's down to one player left on the board. I mean, I really don't know. Like, I mean, these two teams on paper, right? Like, you look at the numbers, you would favor one more so than the other. But, I mean, this is like a final, so you might as well just throw numbers out the window, right? Because it all comes down to, like, who shows up and who gets, like, that momentum going into, like, maps 3, 4, 5, etc., right? So, we are going to see, though, Natural Talent being down. And this is match point for the side of KT. If you're KT, what do you do here? Do you kind of play slow, or do you just go for it?
I mean, if this was tied up 5-5, I would definitely say both teams are going to be going this like super passively, very conservatively. But as it is, like the Knights Templar has basically a round to burn. I could see them getting super aggressive in this and just trying to push the kills again. As it is, Run with Ace tries something with the Kobe there. Not sure if he landed on the special grenade or not. Do not believe that he did. But that is not for lack of trying. He's got his eyes out all over the place.
Yeah, and I do believe Ibane is the bomb carrier as well, as I believe Knights Templar has 3 dead now. We're looking like we're going to a round 11 here in this final, as it's all up to Dill. He's in a 1v5. I don't like his odds, and just like that, round 11.
Yes, sir. I always say it, and I'll say it again. Knights Templar takes this one. We've effectively purchased ourselves a best of 3. All 3 game modes included in that one, though. Because it'd be tied up 1-1, and we get our little domination action. Basically, like the game just starts with domination instead of hardpoint.
Yeah, and domination's been a really good game mode for both teams, I would say. KT in the past, from what I've seen, they've struggled a little bit in S&D. Like, they're not, like, I mean, granted, their numbers are totally there for, like, what was it, like they had, like, a 1 point something, right? Or a .88, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see, like, they're not, like, a bad S&D team, but they're not, like, the strongest in the league, if that makes sense. At least not from what I've seen.
I don't know the comparative numbers, honestly,
I would give them the edge, though, and the domination if I was a betting man.
Just like that, though, this is NT making things a little bit easier for themselves. Magnifico, the last alive here, is on defense, I believe. No, he is on offense. Excuse me. Bomb's been dropped. 1v3 is gonna have to push him. Takes out one now to get out of dodge. 35 seconds to go. Unless he picks up bomb, plants it all in the next 30 seconds. This is more. Oh no, sorry, he has bomb. My bad. I was wondering where it was. Oh, there's another one. This has just been pushed to 1v1. Magnifico
1v1, him and Ivane.
Onto Ivane, yeah, so this is especially a player the Natural Talent be wanting on this side. Now moving on over towards the less popular bomb site. Longer range shots looked for by Ivane. Just like that, we've purchased ourselves another 45 seconds. Magnifico knows exactly where to go, and that's not too far away.
No, and I actually like that, right? Like he gets that kill, and then he elects to wrap over to the A bomb site, because most players just go right for B. So the fact that he was smart enough to be like, you know what? I just won this gunfight. That call out's going to come over down by B bomb. Let's just wrap it to A, which he elected to do so. Now he's in a really good spot to potentially win this round for his team.
There you go.
Like, that is what you want to see. That's a great heads-up play from a solid player in Magnifico, as we are now guaranteed for a map 4.
Yes, sir. I love this.
Man, that was a really good back and forth search and destroy, and I liked what I saw from both sides, right? I mean, look at the numbers. Like, they don't lie. The stats don't lie. Dill had a fantastic series, as he was the first one to reach double digits, correct?
Yeah, he was definitely the first. Looks like Olympian, Relic, and Ace all managed to get there, but I'm pretty sure that was there towards the end. I mean, hitting double digits in Search and Destroy, even in round number 11, average 1 kill per round is nothing to shake a stick at. That was a fantastic job done there by our Knights Templar squad. Again, you called it a heads-up play. I love that phrasing, especially given that Magnifico literally just kind of laid over there and then just popped up like a viper, spat the venom, got back down, got the last player down in the round 11, secured it for the squad. We're going to go to a very short break, unless Breezy, you got something else here?
No, I think we're jumping right into the domination from what it looks like on my screen.
I'm with it. Domination on the Gunrunner. On the Gunrunner, excuse me.
Oh, well, never mind. Take that back. It looked like for a second we were about to hop into the domination, but well, we've got a quick second here as we are getting the heads up from our producer. Let's break down this lookout again, Tug. Going into map 3.
Yeah, so just what speaks to me is the same score difference between Hardpoint and Search and Destroy, but the Search and Destroy was was nothing really like the Hardpoint. Again, 250 to 105 being the scoreline for the Hardpoint, the Search and Destroy going all the way down to that round 11 and going the way of Knights Templar. So we're going to get at least more 2 games of Call of Duty. I have been proved wrong here. Knights Templar has really shown up on Search and Destroy like I did say they were capable of doing, but saying and doing, right?
Yeah, of course. And, I mean, we're casters, right? Like, we're going to make predictions, and we're not always going to be right, but we do our best to try to break everything down the way we see it or what we've seen in the past from casting or even just spectating the matches, as now we are finally loaded up into domination on Gunrunner. I don't know what to expect here because the momentum is slightly shifted into the favor of Knights Templar. How do you see this one playing out? Do you still see the same stat line in favor of Natural Talent from what you saw in Hardpoint, or do you think KT takes this?
This is going to be a lot more even. KT learned what they need to on the respawn. I would be very, very surprised if we saw a same 2.5 score line for Natural Talent during the Templar. Now, they take the round. I'm not going to be mega surprised, but it's not going to be that same speed down that we saw in game number 1. Especially after we see Knights Templar players coming out like they have. Natural Talent taking, I believe, their second kill of the game, excuse me, just a second ago. No, now they're coming. That's Call of Duty for you.
Yeah, and B is still up for grabs, right? And normally we just see teams fly right at B and start some of that chaos. And right now it's just kind of at that standstill, I guess you could say, as we're going to see some massive gunfights come down here by the boiler room. You're going to have one player wrapping around this coal mine area going towards this B flag. And this is where the things get interesting, right? As Knights Templar does have their respective home flags, and they do have B as well now. So I'm interested to see how Knights Templar breaks this and gets control.
Yeah, not a whole, or not a huge score difference, of course. And B is really not. I mean, yes, it's been where players have fought, but most of these advantages have been taken off of A. Not really been. You know, I mean, even what if they get this 5 right here? Yeah, so Knights Templar are technically up by a point right now, but just like that, natural talent flooding on into taking it on over the fury of a tsunami.
And if I'm not mistaken, Tug, help me out with this one. If you have, it's 2 points for like every, what, 20, 30 ticks?
What? Excuse me?
Is that how, like,
it's
in
every 5
domination?
seconds. It's every 5
Right, that's
seconds,
what
so
I was
there's 12
saying.
ticks, I guess, basically per minute.
Okay, that's what I was trying to, like, figure out, because I couldn't remember on top of my head of how this works.
You're good. I was super confused as what you meant there for a second, but we're on the same page. Every 5 seconds you get a point. This is literally where like calculus can come into play. Olympian being the man to watch right now after he picked up not a 1, not a 2, but a 3-piece. I believe he's over. Yeah, he's over kind of north side right now. It did just fall. Oh, no, sorry, not south side. It did just fall over kind of closer towards that showers area, but. Really a lot of back and forth here. We've seen both teams just light up this kill feed left side, and it's been back and forth just like our search and destroys, so a lot more even.
Yeah, and what's interesting to point out is the side of Natural Talent actually has spawns for this B push as that is being controlled right now by Knights Templar. So that's another thing that's really crazy about this game, or even this map, really, is the spawns, right? As you got KT spawning at P2, and then Natural Talent being by P5. So one has a little bit longer of a route to go, while the other one can just go straight. Boom, you're already there, right? So it's very interesting how the spawn system works in this game, as this is relatively really close right now. It's only like a 1-point lead for the side of Natural Talent.
Yeah, it can really go either way. Just in case you're not familiar with, watching a whole lot of Call of Duty, the A side, this kind of left side, that left side, generally regarded as more of a beneficial spawn, and that is because the surface area that you have to cross from A to B, the other point from where you can take points, is just a lot shorter than where it is from C to B. They might look the same on the map, but corners and whatnot and turns, definitely more of a straight A to, from point A to point B, to literally use that phrase as again literally as it possibly can be.
Yeah,
I think
as we just saw Ivan literally play like that run down right there on the B flag. He literally got right behind the player and he was like, "I'm gonna get you." It's a good old-fashioned tag, as this is gonna round out to be a very strong showing from Knights Templar. They're not that far behind here in the first half, as we are on board with Nordic, who doesn't get a lot of love here in K7 in my opinion. This is another solid player, as he's going to get this C flag back. They're not out of it yet, Tug. Like, this is a very close and interesting first half.
We're looking at about 20 seconds towards that end there, and again, 10-11 seconds being the biggest score difference so far. At this point in the hardpoint, Natural Talent was close to doubling up. So, yeah, to speak to the tale and talk about the past, this is a Knights Templar team that is doing leagues better than they did in the hardpoint, which is exactly what they needed to. Search and destroy was taken by them. And so, pressure is kind of off, given that it's tied up, and both teams have to do the same thing to take the W, right? They both have to take 2 rounds. This is not their last shot by any means, and this round isn't even over yet. It's technically only half done, so.
Right, and if you're a Knights Templar fan, you gotta be happy with this, right? You're only down 15 points.
Yeah, exactly.
15
again,
points.
same point, same half point in the hard point. I'm sorry?
It's just 15 points, and if you just throw stats out the window and you don't care about that, 15 points might seem like a lot to you, especially in a game mode like Domination, but with how good these two teams are, that 15 points can get erased in a snap of a finger, especially if you come out really hot here in the second half.
Exactly. It's how you perform here in that second that's really going to speak that tale through. So we're on board here with Ivan. Again, that is the MVP from round 1, but gets cut down like he's nada. Dill here with the second piece, making it look easy. 13 and 12 on the search and destroy player, who was the outlier for his team. But I'm talking positively, not negatively. Ducky was doing very well as well on the search and destroy. Let's be honest with him. Ooh, death from the fence. Ooh, excuse me. Death from the vents here. Wait. Yeah, that was Ducky. I was getting Ducky and Dill mixed up, excuse me. Nordic kind of providing that overwatch here. Cuts down Crixus as he was trying to come through. Although that kind of might have been sort of expected because until Ace got there were no other Natural Talent members, so he was going to get doubled up against the police. And it's not like they were coming from the same side. Obviously, Natural Talent covering this one like, what, turquoise on seawater? I'm not sure. Why don't I say something that makes sense there? But,
I had no clue where you were going with that. I'm like, what?
Turquoise on seawater? You didn't know not about it? Like seawater, like
sure.
the ocean. Okay.
Right, I got what you're saying, but at the time I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Got it. Well, I aimed to surprise and delight if nothing else. Relic choosing not to go the I-Vein route and just absolutely pops off as soon as he can there, which does make sense, I guess I should say. I shouldn't really compare those two because I-Vein was much closer than Nordic was there since they were just turned forward, so he's gonna lose the opportunity again. Anyway. 104 to 91. Here's 106 goes up for Natural Talent.
Yeah, and I like to point out on the side of KT, you look at Badger's stats, he's negative, it looks like 6. While you got on the other side, you have Ace, who's 19 and 14, Olympian 14 and 13, not relatively bad. But the standout player, like we've been saying for I don't know how many weeks or months or whatever, it's I-Vein, right? Look at his stat line, 18 and 13. He's doing his thing in the slaying department. But I'm really interested to see here, as we have 2 minutes and some change left, if KT can initially get B and have this trip cap and how long they could possibly hold it, as C has been neutralized, and the I-Vein is going to get smoked there inside the boiler room. And this game is not far from over by any means, as Knights Templar is flirting with the trip cap possibility, but as soon as I say that, C gets taken back by Natural Talent.
Yeah, I really liked what Ducky was doing there on that C side right there. Sending that runner there to provide is always going to be the name of the game. I-Vein kind of staring down the camera on this one. We have X-ray vision. We have to wonder if he did as well, as Magnifico takes not one but two, and it helps play Semtex on that one. Provided a little bit of time on the B, but just like that, Natural Talent's over it. Now 15 seconds or so, doubling up the most you can make in a minute, or 2 to 1 I should say, not doubling up, not 2 to 0. Most you can make in a minute is 12, so this is slipping out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and what's really, I guess you could say, like a standout thing is how well KT has played this domination, right? Like, they're not getting completely blown out, kind of like they did in the first respawn on Ramaza. They've been playing relatively well. Like, they're not that far behind, but if you're going to make anything happen, you've got to do it now, as time is not on your side, as we're getting ready to come up on the 60-second mark, as we are on board with Ducky taking over the B flag, and he is going to just sit around this little like boiler room area, right? Kind of look towards the
they
forest.
got to go over to C. They pretty much have to.
But yeah, they've got to wrap now if they're going to make anything happen.
Yeah,
because if not, this is over.
If the winter is the end of this game, that was Ducky who was trying to fly south for the winter. It did not happen there. He got shot out of the sky.
Right. Yeah, that's a great way to point that out.
32, 142. There is enough time, even if they just 2 to 1 this, that actually might end out even 1 to 1. So Natural Talent's got to hold on to C, or just neutralize it out for literally 5 seconds. If Knights Templar holds on to this, I think that's going to be enough. That's 6 points. No, 7 points divides them. Oh man, so Knights Templar has to touch 7. They have to touch C. That's about half percentage on it, or they have to neutralize it out.
Yeah, they've got to neutralize it. They want to win this. Oh no. These final seconds are going to be really interesting. Tug, as Magnifico is going to come up big right there with a kill. This is going to be really close. They do have to touch C, like you did point out. If not, it is going to be over.
Oh man, this is going to be 1-1. That's going to be 1-1.
Oh, and he's going to get a touch, but it's not going to be good enough, as it's only going to be a 1-point win for the side of Natural Talent. Wow, that right there got really, really exciting, right? Like, I really thought they were going to potentially steal the domination, but wow. I think they kind of waited too much, like took too much time trying to get that C flag, right?
I think what it meant, I think what it might have been is that Knights Templar was kind of trying to do the same quick math as me, because I knew it was going to be within a point or two, right? But
Yeah.
and I think they just might have just realized that too late. I think it was about 17 seconds when I realized, like, oh man, there's only 3 more scoring capabilities after this, with 20 seconds being the 4th, right? So
Right.
after that, given that they needed 1, I mean, if they didn't neutralize that C out for 5 seconds, the last 5 seconds there, we'd literally be looking at a tie game.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, like I knew it was going to come down to the wire. Like, I didn't know how close it would have been, but that was just great. The way that they were able to hold the home flag and B to be able to only lose by a point. Like, you got to take your hat off to KT for that one. That was hard fought. And that's nothing to hang your hat on, man. You're only down 1 in the domination, and you get to potentially now steal the second hard point of this best of 5. And I do believe that is going to be on Hackney, if I'm not mistaken. Can we possibly get and there we go. It is going to be on Hackney. And if you guys are just tuning in, this has been a very exciting series, I would say, as the first hard point did go in favor of Natural Talent, 250 to 105. That Search and Destroy went in favor of Knights Templar, 6 to 5. And that domination right there was 151 to 150 in the side of Natural Talent. So this right here is going to either A, end the series, or if you're a Knights Templar fan, you're hoping they tie it up and force that crucial Game 5 on Arklov Peak.
Yes, sir. So I guess what I'm hearing is this will either end or extend it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. If I had to get standout playerships really here, I'd have to talk about Magnifico, and I'd have to talk about Dill. Dill ended up going, I think, 18 and 24, but that doesn't matter when you have 8 caps and 9 defends. Count them, 8 and 9. That's ridiculous. Looking at Magnifico there, he gets it just for that little in performance right there. I believe going on a 5, if not 6 or 7 spree, all over B, just literally covering it just so well. Had he not done that, his team would not have been purchased the opportunity that they had to make this as close as they can. Really, you know, if you have to put almost like blame on individual people, the fact that Magnifico sat there and did what he did on B literally sets it up for the rest of his team to go do other things. You know, like he is single-handedly doing that as 1 out of 5 players. That's your other 4 players who need to go forth and cap or at least neutralize the other one. Now, I'm not putting that on any, you know, individual players because, again, that was as close as they get here. But really, it's about identifying, you know, what kind of the reality is, right? Magnifico's popping off on B. You only have X seconds. Now, I'm not blaming anybody for not being able to do the math like I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? That's not where I'm going with that necessarily so much. But just, again, kind of like knowing where you are in the game, right? Like knowing how much time you have left. And again, I do not like the way the domination ends. I do not like the fact that it's time-based like that. I think that, and this is literally kind of the exception to it, right? The 150 to 151 scoreline. But a lot of times we just see absolute garbage time there at the end. That's what I think. First plug.
No, I totally agree with you on that one. I would think they would change it up. Like, you should have like at least an overtime period. Some form of doing something where you can try to give the team a close. I don't know. But
I think we're all looking for Treyarch to kind of save our souls, right?
Right. It wasn't a game over like that, but if you now look here at this Hackney Hardpoint, we've got Knights Templar taking the early lead, which we did not see that in map 1. It was all Natural Talent. So maybe we're going to see a different side of Knights Templar here, Tug.
Yeah. Olympian here with a little vehicular manslaughter gets not 1 but 2 with the vehicle. Interesting stuff. Still able to hold this one down. Got showing flashes and Magnifico like he was, you know, previously on the end of that one. Holding that one down like a bouncer at the bar. 9 or 10 or so to 35 here. Yeah, Natural Talent looking to flip things around. 5 and 1 at his eye vein. There's the player we've been talking about.
Yeah, and you got to be happy here if you are KT. They do have spawns for P2. It does look like they do. And you have a decent lead. You don't have like a big one, but it is relatively like decent, as this is going to be all Natural Talent at the moment. So now KT has to break through and try to get themselves some more time, unless they're just doing what I would expect right now, which would be just, you know, like, hey, let's not really throw too much of our like bodies out there, right? And just try to get spawns for P3. Because P3 is a big crucial hill in this map in particular as well, right?
No, I'm not disagreeing with your logic. I just want to ask, like, okay, so this was about 30 seconds or so when Natural Talent had, like, the definitive hold. Like, there's not much of a point in trying to push in a tire shot because, as everybody knows, the second P is just so hard to crack. But for you, like, you're coaching the squad. At what point, like, at what numbers-wise for this P2 would you say just chalk it, go next?
From like a coaching standpoint, to answer that question, I would say at like maybe 30 seconds, I would say chalk it and rotate.
Okay, so about the same as they did.
Right, just because, like, I mean, you just look how far you have to go from P2 to P3, right? Like, you gotta try to either go a long way around, go through P1, or go through the fire and over the half wall to get to P3, or straight up mid, and you don't want to do that, right? Because then you're just basically saying, hey, here I am, kill me.
Yeah.
So there's so many factors that go into that, so I would say probably about the 30, 35 mark is where you say chalk it, rotate. But I think that kind of bites them too, right? Because look at the score right now. This is opened up as Natural Talent has basically flipped this map on its head, as our buddy Shifty would like to say. Shout out to him for those words.
Yeah. A little fun fact here as well, coming on in here from Heroism, our Natural Talent undefeated in Domination. This is a 5-0 run they have made here in the K7 League. Undefeated, 5-0. I've not dropped one yet. Not looking to do it here, but Knights Templar are looking to make that a different story. Yes, sir. Yeah, chat the game that comes. That's what Heroism just said.
Yeah, that's an interesting. That's an interesting stat. I wouldn't have even known that if it wasn't for our lovely producer Hero. So shout out to him once again for providing us with those statistics. I mean, I knew that they had like a really good map record coming in, like they were like 14-4 or something like that, if I believe so. That's what Hero told me last night, or told us behind the scenes.
Pretty sure.
But I mean, normally when you get into these matches, you kind of just throw certain things out the window because this can go either way, right? Like, it just comes down to the momentum thing. Like, I keep harping on that, but it's like a true thing, and nobody's like, no, man, they just got outplayed, outslayed, whatever. Which is a fair assessment because Knights Templar has been out-rotated. They have been outslayed to a certain degree, and it shows in the score as they're down 141 to 153.
Oh yeah, I mean, looking at numbers here, that is everybody on NT who's positive. And Ivane is what, just a kill away from tripling up. 1.5 Crixus, just shy of that for Relk, living more than 1.5 for Olympian, and Ace just dipped below positive. On the other side, highest again is the dead even 12-12 Magnifico.
Yeah, and that's just something that isn't really acceptable if you're a KT fan, right? Like, because
no,
they're all solid players.
We just saw what they could do on the Hardpoint, right? Like, this is another respawn game mode.
Yeah, and I mean, the way I look at it, I guess the best way to break this down would be Natural Talent, when they get momentum, they start to play a little bit at a faster pace, and not too many teams have a counter for that. Because once you get hit in the mouth, it's really hard to counter it, right? Because how do you counter a really solid team like that after getting hit multiple times in the mouth and you get outslayed? It kind of takes your morale down a little bit. It kind of kills the confidence.
What's the quote? Oh my God, I know what you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, everyone has to play until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, there you go.
That's a solid quote. I didn't expect that one to come out on the broadcast, but yeah.
I mean, he's one of the,
he is the great.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has like a plan of attack or whatever until they get punched in the mouth.
Well, if you look at this, Tug, okay, we're basically seeing the exact same score from what we saw on Ramaza. It's almost the exact same.
Yeah, 212.71. That was 105 to 250 in the first. Yeah, definitely looking to sing that same song. And now this tire shop with Knights Templar all over it though. They really need all 6 of this though. That is not a great way to start. It is Doyle left alone up top. Yeah,
and another thing I'd like to point out too is, like, if I'm a coach, I'd be telling my players not to worry about the scrap time if you have a big lead like this, right? Like Natural Talent does. I would chalk it. Let the other team pick up the scraps, and you just set up for rotations and play to that strategy, right? And just be prepared for a gunfight, because you never know where these players are going to come from because of how the spawn systems work in this game. So you never know if you're going to get hit from the left, right, up the middle, whatever. But that, I mean, with that being said, KT's not even going to break 100 points here, which that is just mind-blowing to me after what we've seen them do in the domination and the S&D. They don't even break 100 points here in map 4. That's crazy.
Yeah, just a really, really up and down squad, right? Like, these performances really just absolutely night and day, man.
Yeah, well, Call of Duty's night and day as well. So yeah,
I hear you on that.
Yeah, Call of Duty's night and day, and these teams, like, I don't know. I think I just expected a little bit more from KT. I'm not disappointed in them. They fought as hard as they possibly could against a really solid team. But break down these stat lines for us, Tug.
Let's see it. Looking at 19-20 for Magnifico. Just going to run through all these right quick. Dill 13 and 21. 11-24, 15-21 for Nordic. Ducky at 15 and 26. Best on team being Magnifico, just barely negative at 19 and 20. Big stuff from Ivane, showing why he is that MVP from Season 1. 2 minutes and 58 seconds on the Domination Hills. Domination Hills, Hardpoint, whatever you want to call them, Domination Hills, which is, of course, more time than the entirety of Knights Templar put together. Unfortunately, Nordic and Ducky putting up zeros, goose eggs in that department. 25-18 here for Olympian, a Herculean effort from him if there ever was one. Relic looking real at 24 and 17. 23 and 15 could be called a crisis for Knights Templar, not Crixus. I know that's not how you pronounce his name. Ace disproving that name with the only negative KD on his team at 15 and 6. 12 seconds for the guys, so at least he got involved a little bit. But once and again, Ivane being the standout player in KD and performance and time on points and everything in between.
Yeah, and if we bring up the bracket one more time, your winner is going to be Natural Talent. And I guess my question to you, Tug, as we get ready to wrap this up, would be like, who was your standout player from this series, or this final, rather? Sorry, who would be your standout player if you had to pick right now?
I want to say Ivane because he's the one we talk about, right? Like, Ivane knows who he was, so I'm not going to say him. I'm going to go back with Magnifico. The fact that he performed like he did under pressure in that Hardpoint, the second one especially, the second Hardpoint especially after they, the Domination, my bad, excuse me. How he performed the Domination, especially that last minute or so, gets that token from me, that vote from me, because that is just, I say it all the time, man. Sometimes pressure, will crush players, and sometimes pressure makes diamonds. That is a diamond-made player right there, and the way that he performed really proves that. It was fantastic stuff. He set it up for the team that's just not able to come back from that, but as close a scoreline as it gets, only score difference of 1 in that 151 to 150 matchup. As it is, I do believe we have reached the least favorite part of any broadcast. That is the end, of course. My name is FBI Tugboat. Well, my tag is FBI Tugboat. My parents did not name me FBI Tugboat, actually. My tag is FBI Tugboat. You can find me over on Twitter at FBI_Tugboat. I'm with Breezy Cast. That's at Breezy, BREEZY Casts, CASTS. No space, no underscore, nothing like that, right, Breezy?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Yes, sure. This has been the K7 League Finals here for the let's do it. Season 2, Event 2, Week 2 Finals. That's round number 7. Shout out to our sponsors, FadeGrips. That's Rogue Energy. That's Gamers Resort. And that's GitGudHosts. I remember all 4 of them this time. We appreciate you guys in making this competition possible. Tune in next time.
And quick shout out to Hero too, by the way.
Exactly.
For putting all this together. Yeah, shout out to Hero for putting all this together. He's a wonderful league owner, and a great producer, and we wouldn't be able to do what we do if it was not for him. And also, once again, shout out to all 4 sponsors. We love each and every one of you guys. Continue to be safe, and we are out.